What's up, everybody? This is Harry Bernard Taylor with my man Chris Burton,
the People's Podcaster,
and we're coming at you again with another AEW Dynamite. And also we're going to talk about the wrestling experience. After watching Dynamite, I had a few thoughts that I want to look into. I want to talk to Chris about. But first, we're going to run down these results of AEW Dynamite. Chris, you catch the whole show?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. Okay. First off, we had Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy. What you think about that match?
It was what it was, man. I mean, I know I always say that, but
right,
match, it wasn't just nothing to just go crazy over. Yeah. I mean, Orange Cassidy got a pop like we expected it. And Matt Hardy, did his thing, but it was a decent match overall. And obviously Orange Cassidy did his stick, where, he comes out kicking and hands in the pocket and all that.
Yeah. Right. I don't know, man. I mean, Matt Hardy, accomplished wrestler, been around for a while. I expected a little more out of him, but we know what they're trying to do with Orange Cassidy. They're doing everything they can to build him up, to make him a star, man. And they're going to use whatever they can to get him over. And like you say, it is what it is. It is what it is. The match wasn't really nothing to write home about.
It wasn't. Not at all.
Cassidy, man, he did his little tappy toe little type thing on Matt, and Matt kind of like played around with him at first, man. Just doing a hand wipe, hand wipe, thing like that. So I mean, they went back and forth with that, man. And then, like I say, they went on with the match. And Matt Hardy, he got the pin. He tried to set him up for the super punch, with the orange punch or whatever.
Orange punch, yeah.
Yeah, tried to set him up with the orange punch, but that didn't happen. A couple times I thought Matt had him, and I thought Orange had him. But Matt got him pretty good shots in there. A couple times I thought he had the pin, but Orange Cassidy ended up getting a roll up. It was something like a roll. It was kind of like a roll up.
Kind of like a roll up.
But I give the match a 3.5. And like I said, it was nothing.
I give it a 3.
Yeah, it was nothing to write home about. So we're gonna go ahead and go with that. 3. Let's go ahead and give it a 3-star match. Let's make it a 3-star. Then we had Chris Jericho. He had his segment, and Chris Jericho, like what me and Chris was talking about a few weeks ago, man. I saw this a few weeks ago. I said, Chris and I, we was talking about what Jericho can actually do outside of wrestling. We know he has his music. I think he'll do well on television, or do well maybe in Hollywood. Do he have acting chops? I'm not sure about that. What you think about that? What you think, Chris?
I don't know if he has acting chops. I see him, maybe doing, some guest appearances on some TV shows or something like that. Maybe.
Right.
He's got his music. So that's what about. And, he might do a Comic-Con here or there, make, stuff like that. But other than that, I don't see him, doing nothing big in Hollywood.
No, me either. I mean, I think it would do. I think it'd be well if he does do a few segments, maybe on TV. Start off with some commercials, and then maybe, like I say, drop on in. Try to get a few things going with TV. But I did. A few weeks ago, like I said, one of those matches. I can't remember who he was wrestling against, man. But Chris and I both commented on the way he looked in the ring, and his midsection. He looks like a man who's ready to retire. He's not really dedicating himself into the gym. So it doesn't look like he's very. I believe he's very dedicated to the sport. He loves wrestling. There's no doubt about that. And he loves the adulation of the fans. You can tell that the way he comes out, man. He loves that pop. He loves getting that fan
interaction.
The fan interaction. Yes, he loves that. But as far as him in the sport, man, I don't think he's gonna go too much farther. But hopefully hopefully he ends up getting a win over MJF. I want to see him actually finish that thing out to where he takes care of MJF. Even though I do like MJF and I hope his star continues to rise, but I want to see Chris Jericho go out on top. Okay. Let's go over to not Hollywood Blondes. I was about to say Hollywood Blondes, but the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah.
The Varsity Blondes, they had their locker room talk, and they say they're the number one contenders for the titles in NXT or whatever. I mean, not NXT, but AEW Dynamite. They say they're the number one contenders. I don't know why, but because I haven't really seen them too much.
Well, you got other teams that are saying the same thing in this tournament. So you can just come out and say, "Oh, we're
right."
It's a tournament. You got to get set up for. Right. You got to go through these different teams to make sure you are the number one contender. You might feel like you are, but you have to go out there and prove it. And in their match that they had, they didn't prove it.
Yeah, they went against the Lucha Brothers, man, and it started off where the match was okay. I mean, but the Lucha Brothers, I mean, they took control. Tenta and his brother Ray, they put together a well of a match, man. They actually carried this match.
Yeah.
And because of that, man, I'll go ahead and give it a 4-star. And that, like I say, and that's basically because of the Lucha Brothers. I'm giving it a 4-star. But if the Lucha Brothers didn't put together such a great match, man, it would be a 2.5 or maybe a 3. But they brought it up. They brought it.
Yeah, the Lucha Brothers did carry that match, man.
Yes, they did. And Varsity Blondes, man, like I said, I don't know where they go from here.
Yeah.
They remind me of Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, but they're not.
No, Lord no.
Nowhere near. So next we had Jamie Halter versus Jamie Halter came out there and she was talking with Britt Baker and Rebel, and then Jamie Halter had that match against Red Velvet.
Red Velvet. That was a good match. Red Velvet put on a hell of a show.
Yes.
She really carried her own. I'm actually kind of disappointed she didn't win.
Oh, I am too, man.
Yeah, because she did an excellent job in that match.
Right.
But like I said, she didn't win it, so but she still did a good job. I give that match about a 3.5. And for the Varsity Blondes and the Pencil, I give it a 4.5.
Yeah. Oh, you get the other one 4.5? Yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and with a 4.5 on that. I gave the Jamie Halter versus Red Velvet match a 3, but I'm going to bump it up to 3.5. I agree with Chris. It was a good match. Jamie Halter, she done some great things in there too. I mean, she's made a powerhouse, but I kind of brought it down a little bit. The reason I brought it down to 3, I had it at 3.5 too. I brought it down to 3 because I didn't like the interference. Alex, and I was with Chris. I wanted Red Velvet to win the match. I'm not down on Britt Baker, man, but it kind of ticked me off. She didn't need to get involved in this match. Jamie Halter did her thing, did enough to win the match, and it was a great match. And like I say, Britt and Rebel got involved, and that took away from the match. And then Chris Statlander came out there to
try to even up the odds, help her out.
Yeah. And so, but overall, it was a good match, man. But like I say, the outside interference, it wasn't needed in that match, man. Let it be a good match, and let us think about the next match. Going to the next match. Okay. Yeah. Then we had Dark Order, man. Their backstage interview. We saw problems, man.
Yeah, they in a world of shambles, man. They don't know what's going on. Evil Uno, he up there bossing people around and talking down to them, and they say they're supposed to be a family and everything, but family does have issues at times. But
right.
Yeah, I don't see them together possibly too much longer.
Oh yeah, and they the other members, a lot of other members. I mean, they ticked off about this thing about. Adam Page got jumped, they said you let Adam, get out there and get hurt, man. You didn't want to do anything. He's like, hey, it's up to Adam and all that, man. But hey, when you're friends like that, your friends in trouble, man, you go out there and sometimes you got to overrule what your friends see for for their best interest. Sometimes their best interest is not the best, So hey, Avery Doolittle, what's up, Avery? You checking us out, man? We appreciate that, So I know you was having a little problem with sharing this, but I'll try to get it to your page some kind of way. Okay, who's got? I would like to see a top 10 list of the.
That was Avery. That was Avery. He was saying
that. Was Avery. Okay, of the smallest wrestlers to make it big. Oh yeah, okay. You said that might be something to look into. Yes, that's something that we can definitely do. We can definitely do that to make it big. Oh yeah, okay. You said that. Okay, yeah, but that's something we definitely can definitely look into. All right, Chris. Okay, then we had CM Punk, man, show up. You know, everybody. This is what everybody out there looking for.
Yeah.
You know, this like say was the spotlight of the night. So this was his first Dynamite appearance. What you think about that?
He got. I mean, you know, he got his pop, which was expected. The crowd, really
thought, man.
Yeah, the crowd went crazy. You know, you expected that.
Oh yes.
And you know, CM Punk and Tony Schiavone. You know, I like that interaction they had, like two old friends meeting for the first time, you know, and everything. And I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you caught it, but he teased Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, yes.
He teased Daniel Bryan coming. I caught that. And yeah, because he was up there, you know, saying something. And the crowd was like, yes, yes, yes. And then he was like, well, that's somebody else's stick. If y'all just be a little bit more patient, you know, and then everybody was like, oh. So yeah, he kind of teased it, but we don't know if it's official, but that would be a sight to see if Daniel Bryan does come to AEW.
And they definitely need Daniel Bryan right now. If you ask me, they AEW needs Daniel Bryan because I believe they're about to go to war. So they're gonna need him. Okay, then we had Miro. Miro had his promo. You know, there's some strange religious stuff, man. But
he I think, what did he say? He wants who did he say he wanted to wrestle? God, I can't think of the guy's name. He said he wanted to wrestle though, but yeah, he wanted to wrestle somebody because I forgot who he said, but yeah, he's on that religious kick and he wants to wrestle somebody. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. He was talking about somebody he wanted to wrestle, man, but for some reason I just got caught up.
I can't think of his name. I can't think of the name of the guy he said.
I can't either, but I got caught up into his little promo a little bit, and then you know I kind of like tuned out of who he was talking about wrestling because he's like emotionally. It seemed like he's emotionally tied up into that character or whatever they're trying to build, whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So then we had Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, and Darby Allin versus the Wingman. What you think about that match?
It wasn't too good to me, man. I wasn't too hyped on it.
No, I wouldn't either.
It was just a match, and you had some big names in it,
right?
And I liked, you know, the part where basically your boy Gas Station Man QT started pointing to the Big Show, and the Big Show, you know, got up off commentary like he was gonna come down there, which, you know, distracted QT and got him rolled up for the pin.
Yeah, right. I mean, Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, man, it's like say, you know, pretty big names. Then you had Cesar Bononi and you know, QT and
Gas Station Man.
Gas Station Man and Aaron Solo whatever his name. Solo. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just like say it was a basic match, and it's like it was a basic match pretty much to set up this thing of QT and Big Show, man, about to get it on in the pay-per-view. That's pretty much all it was.
Yeah, that's all it was, yeah.
And but you know, Kingston, Moxley, and Allen got the win, man. Like you say, QT, because QT got rolled up. Got rolled up because he got involved, man, with with Paul White.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I give it a 3-star, man. And
I give it a 3 too, man. It wasn't.
It was like I say, it wasn't nothing to make us run out of the house, man, and scream to the neighborhood about.
Definitely not.
So and then like I say, Daniel Garcia came in and he attacked Darby Allin. So I don't know what's up with that, but
yeah,
you know that was kind of like a waste if you ask me.
very much so.
So and then like I say, FTR video segment where they talked about the damage to one of the members' forearms. You remember what happened to
the guy? Got his arm cut. Yeah,
he got his arm messed up. They talked about that. I think they should have went in a little more on that, but you know, it's good to have a little update on that, and hopefully, you know, the guy doesn't have any nerve damage and he can get back in the ring soon. You know, so then we had Christian Cage and that Kenny Omega clash before All Out. You know, they got into it a little bit.
Yeah, they basically rehashed a little bit of history.
Right.
When Christian first came into business back in Canada, and golly, I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. Let's see.
I remember him as Jekyll from WWE.
Right. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So he was basically the booker at the time, and we saw Christian's potential, and was like, "Well, I got Christian, I got Kenny Omega. Christian definitely has more talent than Kenny, but I'm gonna pick Kenny over Christian."
Right.
And basically, after that, you saw that one match, and you didn't see him no more because you know that's the way he picked it. So they basically just rehashing that issue and bringing it to the forefront, and then they're gonna have their match.
Yeah. Well, you know, Kenny was very young at that time, man.
Yeah, Kenny was like what, 14, 15 or something?
Yeah, 13. I think he was 13 when he first gosh, I can't think of the guy's name, man. The guy
Don Callis.
Yeah, Don Callis. When Don Callis started promoting that that Christian Cage, and when he, you know, in Canada, when he started promoting that, he had Christian Cage. I think Christian was a young guy, but well, Kenny Omega, like I said, he was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, he was just breaking in.
Yeah, he was just breaking in, man. So he was getting trained up and everything like that. So because he didn't debut until like 2000, like 4 years later. So you know, I do know about that. So he was getting, I guess, he already had him favored over Christian Cage.
Yeah, he did.
So that's still there, man. And that's still brewing. So hopefully they get all that ironed out, man, after this war go down, you know? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So all right, let's move on to John Moxley. Well, John Moxley talked about somebody out of New Japan, you probably know, man, Shitaki Kojima.
Yeah, the old guy. Yeah, Taki.
He's been around a long time, man.
Yeah, they've had some wars, man, and I don't know what's going on with Moxley and New Japan. I don't know if they're necessarily on bad terms or this just storyline,
right?
Maybe, but if AEW is smart, New Japan's already doing shows out on the West Coast, out in LA.
Okay,
they're doing shows out in LA. If they were smart, they would really try to do a serious joint venture with New Japan, since some of them are here in the U.S., and bring over some more stars, and then possibly send some stars from AEW over there, like WCW used to do.
Yeah, man, that would be pretty smart, man, because like I say, there's a lot of action-packed wrestlers in New Japan Wrestling, and it'll bring a lot more as far as the competition, and bring the brand up to where they can compete a little bit more with WWE, because we see Vince, he's going to pull out all the stops from now on.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got his hand on the button. He says, you know, they're not competition, but we know that's not true, man. So all right, so then we go to the trios match, man. The Gun Club versus the Factory, and man, I don't know, man. It was just,
yeah, that was yeah, that to me was basically, I want to say, his youngest boy trying to be like his daddy,
right?
Because he basically emulated his dad every single way, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but son, you got to make your own path, man. I mean, but it wasn't nothing just to make me cut a flip. You know, I mean, it's just a match. Yeah. I give that I give it a 2.5.
No, I gave it a 3-star, man. But like I say, the Gun Club, man, it just, it's, they have more experience than that. I mean, like I say, you had the one young guy with the group, but in the factory, they've been around for a while too. But it was just a basic match, man. It was,
yeah. Because most of the time, the Gun Club, they're on dark anyway.
Yeah, so, that's true. And
this was my first. This was my first time actually seeing them on Dynamite.
Right. I think it might be the second time I've seen them, but I'm not sure. But those guys, man, it really wasn't nothing exciting. But so I'm just going to give it a 3-star. It was a 3-star match. Then we had Dan Lambert, man. I sent him out there again, Chris. Hey, my man Dan, the MMA guy, the UFC guy, the mixed martial artist. He went out there. He's a little too old to get into the ring himself.
Oh, yeah.
But
he's a good talker. He's a good talker.
He's a good talker, man. And Dan, he got him some backup last week, man. He brought in some special backup, some MMA fighters, man. But this week he used a couple wrestling stars, man. He brought Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page out there with him. And,
I think he's basically gonna be their mouthpiece.
Right.
I see that happening. They're gonna give them a push. Scorpio and Ethan, they're gonna give them a push, and Dan Lambert's gonna be their mouthpiece. I think that's how that's gonna work.
Yeah, and Dan Lambert, man, he continued on with his tear down. He's tearing the business down, tearing AEW down,
tearing down the fans, and
tearing the millennials down, man. And the thing about it is, a lot of millennials, man, actually saw the not really the golden age of professional wrestling, but they saw when it rose up, when it was top dog. So they saw a lot of that. So but they did not see the golden age. They might have missed a little bit of that. But a lot of those millennials, man, they in their late 30s, man, and stuff like that. So they know what went down. They know how it used to be.
Oh yeah.
So he can't really run down all of them, man.
No.
But Dan Lambert, man, he's serious, and like Chris say, he's probably going to be, the publicist for Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page going forward, and they might be his henchman going forward, because he's going to have to have protection, man, because people are going to come after him.
Oh yeah,
because this man, he's talking, he got his mouth running, he's talking a lot of junk. But then, man, we had this Malachi Black, man, versus Brock Anderson match, man, and before that, you had the lady. She was talking to she talked to Arn about it, and Arn said, "Man, I'm trying to get him out of it and things like that. Try to talk to him about this is another."
He wasn't gonna do it. He wasn't gonna back down, man. He wasn't gonna back down because he's stubborn like his daddy.
Right.
And he's like, "Dad, you protected me all these years, or whatever, blah blah blah. Now it's my turn." Mm-hmm. But Arn's like, "Son, you've only had 6 matches. This man done had a million. You ain't ready for this. This is above your pay grade." But he went ahead and did it anyway, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, and like I say, let's talk about the match a little bit. Brock went in there, man, and I mean, he scooped Malachi Black. That's what we used to call a scoop. Going into the fight, he scooped Malachi Black, which Arn was notorious for, man. Scooping you and then start beating you down, man. He's learned very well from his father and everything. But like Arn said, man, this is over your pay grade. This is above your experience level. You shouldn't be in a match with a man like this. And this is a dangerous man. And Malachi Black, once he took over, man, he just
that was it.
That was it.
That's like us going against. It's like you or me right now,
right?
Going against Bobby Lashley.
Yes. It's just,
really?
Yeah. Really? Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. It wouldn't make no sense. We're gonna get smashed, even if both of us went in there at the same time. Like his former partners in the Hurt Business went in there at the same time and got destroyed. We're gonna get destroyed worse than that. So Brock, I mean, and Malachi Black, man, just took him apart, man, with those strikes, man, and then especially when he started hitting him with those kicks.
And then he hit him with that fake, that fade to black or whatever, that notorious spin kick.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, oh my God.
2, 3, and the guy's just out. And man, Arn come in there, man, and and it's like Malachi was like, it's like, man, he's upset. He's like, how dare you challenge me? He went outside the ring and got a chair and said, I'm gonna destroy this kid. He can destroy the kid as far as beating him with his kicks and fists.
He wanted to finish him. He wanted him out of wrestling. He trying to put him out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna finish this kid off. So he goes out to get a chair, but Arn is in there. And we know what happened with Arn, man, with his injuries and all that, man. Arn can't even be in the matches no more, man. So, but I mean, as a father, man, he's in there, he's protecting his loved one. So he's gonna protect this cub, man, and Malachi got in there. He said, "No, Malachi." Malachi put down the chair, man. He went out Arn blocked it a couple times, man. But Malachi decided to go between the legs, man. Then, like I say, he got a kick in and just basically put him down.
He put them both down. He put them both down, man.
Knocked Arn out. And then what is this? What is up with Lee Johnson come out there?
I don't know what's the deal.
Like he's some big time, like he's Sting or somebody, man. I mean, Lee Johnson is okay. He's the up and coming talent, but man, this man got beat by Miro last week.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I'm like, he's not on that level either. He's a C-level talent, and he comes out at the end of this match like he's gonna do something, man. I'm just like, wow, man. And it was a short match. But I give it 3. I give it 3 stars, man.
I give it a 3 too, man. Yeah.
Like I said, it was nothing. And then at the end of this show, man. So this is what I'm gonna go into, and what I said about the wrestling experience, and I'm talking about the wrestling experience a little bit. At the end of this match, man, I said at the end of this whole show, which it didn't
give you the feeling that old school used to.
Right. I give it a 3. I was just like, man, like, what?
The highlight was CM Punk again. Right. Because it's fresh, it's new, it's something fans been waiting for. That was the highlight of the show.
Right.
I mean, you had decent matches in there, decent segments, but like I said, the highlight was,
it was CM Punk. It was CM Punk.
Yeah.
But, my whole thing is, I said, what was that after the show was over? I'm like, and then it just started hitting me. I started thinking about the way I used to think about wrestling when I left, and this is even before WCW got to the Nitro days, man. I remember leaving the house, man, ready to tell wherever I went. If I was going to work, I'm ready to talk about wrestling. I'm going to school, man. I'm ready. Before I start working, I'm going to school. I'm ready to talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
To anybody who I know, man, that might look at some kind of sport or whatever, I'm ready to talk about wrestling. That's how wrestling used to make you feel. And I'm like, did this show make me feel like that? Of course, WWE is not making us feel like that.
Oh, Lord, no.
But, and I'm like, okay, you got CM Punk in. You done brought him in. Now it's time to amp up. Now it's time to step up. Amp up your shows.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do, because this right here, man, was just like it was like, man, I don't know. I mean, you could go back. Let's go back to the territory days. Okay. This was not better than any Mid-Atlantic show.
No.
Every Mid-Atlantic show I ever saw was better than this, just about. Every Georgia Championship Wrestling show was better than this. Florida Championship Wrestling shows was basically, but this was on some CM like Stampede Wrestling show or Continental.
It wasn't nothing to brag about, man. It wasn't nothing, but hopefully, wrestling, some will have you, all hype, some will not. It's gonna have its ups and downs.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so hopefully tonight, actually, Rampage will give us something, and maybe SmackDown might give us something. I don't know. Let's just see what happens tonight.
Yeah, hopefully, man, like I said, hopefully we see, hopefully Rampage some kind of way, man. Ramp it up to where we can get 5 matches. Give us 5 matches, and make the matches make sense, man.
Yeah.
I mean, use I mean, you would never see WCW back in the day or Jim Crockett Promotions. The final match, even in their television tapings, the final match, man, will be a Brock Anderson against somebody the caliber.
No.
Malachi Black.
No.
So I'm like, man, this kind of thing can't happen. You cannot be doing this at this time because Vince. You better believe he's watching your show. He is watching the whole thing because he's like, okay, you brought CM Punk in. Hey, man, I'm gonna counter that. I'm bringing Becky Lynch back. I'm bringing Brock Lesnar back, and
I still got some tricks on my sleeve.
Yeah. I mean, he brought Brock back. I think they said Brock signed an 8-year deal. That's I heard that he signed an 8-year deal. Adam Cole haven't re-signed yet with AEW. But somebody in CM Punk, he signed a long-term deal, from what I understand. He signed a 1.5, 2 years before but they have got to amp up the shows, man, and
hopefully they do it. Hopefully they do it, man. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Because like I said, we know what's tonight. Tonight's gonna have a tall tale, even though they're not going head to head. That's the way Vince is gonna look at it. So SmackDown, man, he's gonna put whatever he can into SmackDown to offset what's gonna go on with Rampage. So hey, we just gotta have to wait and see.
Let's wait and see now.
That's right.
But yeah, but let the fans know too. We're on YouTube, so if you're watching us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for times like this when we go live. And Facebook, y'all know what the deal is. We come on live, share it to different avenues in Facebook, and we have our fan page. Comment, and tell us what you like, what you like for us to see, and what you like for us to talk about.
Yeah, and if you want some more top 10 shows, or just basically, I mean, we didn't give a top 10 as far as the commentators, the managers, and valets. Yeah. We basically just talked about, who we liked and everything like that, and we just basically gave everybody an idea. Well, we did do a top 10. Each one of us did a top 10 and break it all down because, I mean, it pretty much spoke for itself, and everybody out there is going to have their own favorite commentators, managers, and valets. But, we appreciate it, Avery, that you, chimed in with the smallest wrestlers who's gotten to the top. And I already have who I think is number one, and I'm pretty sure Chris do too, and it's probably the same person. He's small in the game. He's still in there, and he's still taking care of business. So, but we're gonna go ahead and end the show. And once again, I'm Harry Bernard Taylor with my man Chris Burton,
the People's Podcaster,
and we're signing off. Chris, go ahead and hit it.
In the words of our partner Michael King, peace be the journey.